I don't know what it really was. I can't really answer that, but it was my value of family, my value of redemption, just believing that, because we were best friends. Like this is, friendship was a foundation, it's it's a plethora of things.
Yeah.
I think it was,
So you never came to a place where you said, you know what, I'm just going to, I'll cheat.
Oh no, I don't. And again, why not?
Because
Right?
some people,
Yeah.
some couples,
Yeah.
so you
They go
cheated
there.
on me, I'm going to cheat back on you.
Well, what I desired more than anything is commitment. I desire commitment. I desire loyalty, and he was my second boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? So I've just never really, the cheating aspect, the first time didn't come to mind. We'll get to the second time. But the first time, no, it had never crossed my mind.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. So you decided to stay faithful, build your self-esteem, and at some point you're thinking that he's going to straighten up and fly right.
Oh yeah, that's my saying right there. Straighten up and fly right. Like that was my hope.
Yeah.
I had hope in that. And honestly, it did feel that way. I mean, it was a good solid 10 years afterwards.
Yeah, no issues.
No
we started
issues.
building.
Oh yeah.
How did you rebuild the trust? Because I know, with being a woman, every little thing is kind of like, some type of, you're looking over your shoulder, you're
So
questioning.
if he said he was going to the store, were
Right.
you good with that?
That was never really, honestly, a problem. The first one.
Yeah.
You must have been superhuman.
So here's the thing. No. So it happened at work, number one. So if he wasn't at work, he was home. So he wasn't the type anyway to go and hang out. We were always together. Again, that's why it was such a shock, because we had a solid friendship, family, life.
Yeah.
We did dates. We took the kids to the park. We were that type of family.
Yeah.
We went to church on Sunday, Wednesday, Friday. Yeah, we were that type of family. So it wasn't like, where are you going at right now? Because we
Right.
were together.
Right, most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, nah. And then, he also quit the job.
Okay.
Maybe that was another
Okay,
reason.
yeah.
Okay.
Where the girl was, so
Okay.
Yeah. So you
that
can-
may have
you-
given me a little bit
You
more
could see
security.
that he
Totally.
was trying to be right.
Correct.
Trying to
Yeah.
do right.
Yeah.
But there's still such a grace. I don't think it's typical that you had, especially at that young age. You definitely had a grace.
You're
100%.
asking me some questions. I really wish I knew those answers,
you know,
because
'cause-
I wonder.
Right. And I don't think I can do it personally.
I'm wondering myself.
Yeah, 100%.
And I've heard that, Stephanie. Man, I don't think I can do that. And I was that girl too, because my mother was married 4 times. Okay, I'm not coming from a 2-parent household, right? And
Got it.
so there was just this fight in me. Maybe that's what it is. I don't want to be like my mom.
Got it.
I want to keep my children together. All of us have three different daddies.
Yeah.
Me and my brothers. Maybe it was that, a sense
Yeah.
of family, a sense of value. But if I didn't trust him, if I questioned it, I would confront him. But there just wasn't that dynamic for
Yeah.
some reason. I really saw a change. We started, I don't know, something felt different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You felt like your marriage could possibly live up to the expectation of your dreams.
Yeah.
At least I
Sometimes
yeah.
hope will keep you holding on, and when you get faith, you hope beyond hope. In other words, when it looked like all hope is gone, you still keep hoping, which is a powerful faith concept.
I believed in purpose. Maybe that's another aspect of it.
That was
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah.
things.
We were, the crazy part about it, I felt like he loved God. That's just so weird. I know. But I saw that. I saw the remorse. I saw the brokenness. I saw the tears. And I saw his commitment to, praying with the kids. There was all of that was happening in that healing process
Yeah.
Okay.
that I'm watching too now. So
Okay.
it's not like,
Right.
he cheated on Friday and he's back out in the streets
Right.
on the,
Okay.
it wasn't
Okay.
like that. Like he was still a family man
Yeah.
at heart. He was still a God man at heart.
Yeah.
But this moment
Yeah.
with this girl came in and
Yeah.
So if you
tore down
felt
some
like
things,
you felt like you were good enough, maybe it was you that was dissatisfied with you, trying to find satisfaction. What they say, looking for love in all the
That and that's the truth. That is
Mm-hmm.
strange that you said that because the second time I was going through a lot, and I came to her one day, and I said, I think we got married too soon. I said, I'm feeling something because this was the time I was, again battling with myself.
Yeah.
And I said, I think something is wrong. And I sat her down at the table and I said, I gotta tell you, I don't know what it is, but we got married too soon or something. So I was processing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to
And-
make sense of what you were feeling.
Yeah, and I didn't know, and so we had that conversation, and later on, the infidelity still happened. But that's exactly what I felt that it was. I didn't feel my sense of identity anymore. I didn't know who I was. I was holding on to the church, but the church I felt was letting me down. So I'm like, I'm trying to live this life, but I'm seeing other people out there like doing whatever they want as far as in the church.
You know what's interesting? Christina, who did not come up in church,
Right.
had this sense of
Yep.
of
Yep.
wholeness and morality.
Yep.
You were brought up in church.
Brought up in church.
Okay, yeah.
Baptist church, got saved at Pentecostal. I did the Shunda Mahaya, all at the
Ritz on
newspapers,
Fire, yeah.
the Tarian. I did everything. So, I came up in church.
Yeah.
But that's what I discovered, like, after the second infidelity. It was something that I was missing. And the thing that I was missing, I had no core values. I had no core values at all. I did not know who I was. I didn't know what to stand for.
Yeah.
But that's after the second infidelity, that's what I started to build within myself. I had to tear everything I thought I knew down, away, and I had to build myself up from scratch.
Now, I will say, growing up in church, somewhat, but he's from the streets.
Yeah.
So he went straight from the streets with
Yeah.
multiple women to me, directly to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So considering that, so
Yeah. I mean, I left,
Yeah.
I came up in the church, but then 11 years old, hadn't seen the church again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So-
yeah.
so-
So you had a church experience,
Right.
but like a street mindset.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
talking to the men out there, why would you say men cheat? Or what, actually, even a better question, what led you to cheat? Looking back now, because obviously back then you didn't understand, but looking back now, why would you say men in your situation cheat?
Men, I'm gonna be honest, men cheat, number one, because they want to. They ain't no excuse.
whole
Like,
choice.
they, I'm gonna just be real. Like, I wanted to, the lust was there, and I entertained the lust. But like I said, I didn't have those core values.
Yeah.
Commitment, faithfulness, all that. So when the temptation came, I had nothing to hold on to. And it's like, okay, she looked fine. Like, I know I love my wife, but then this is beginning to feel good to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you mentioned identity. You mentioned that you didn't know where you were. And I'm pretty sure that's obviously a recipe of why men. So you said, I didn't have any values. I didn't know who I am. I don't know who I am. And the first thing you said is you were bored. And that's
Yep.
when you kind of sought after.
Yep.
So
Absolutely. Because,
Absolutely.
like Pastor Russ said, she had this already instilled in her. That was something that I was missing. Like, I needed what she had, and it was like afterwards, after the cheating, it was like, okay, I got to reshape in my mind. I got to go back and really get closer to God, and not closer to God by this religion, closer to God. And I really, really got to spend some time getting new information and being real with myself. Like, what was my problem?
right.
And that's when the lies had to stop being at the forefront, because I used to make excuses. Oh, the way I was born, the way my mom used to do this, and my dad wasn't there for me. I did all that, And honestly, when I think back at it now, I cheated because I wanted to cheat.
And what you did was you took responsibility for it at some point.
Yeah.
And by taking responsibility, you were now capable of responding the right way.
Yes.
Because it wasn't on her.
Yes.
It wasn't on
Yes.
being the black man or
Yes. Yeah.
a disadvantage at your
Yep.
mom and dad and all of
Daddy
that.
wasn't there.
You became responsible.
Yep.
Yes.
And now
Yep.
you have gained the ability to respond
Yes.
the right way.
I got my choice back.
There you go.
I got that's exactly what it did.
Yeah.
You know, because we still have challenges in our marriage.
Sure,
There's
sure.
some of the same challenges.
Yeah.
But cheating never come to my mind
Right.
because
right,
now
right.
I'm embracing that choice to do the right thing.
Yeah.
But whereas before I made excuses to not do the right thing.
And you become valuable when I think we are empowered based on the fact that we take responsibility for our actions, our thoughts, our behavior. I think what messed Adam up is that he blamed Eve.
Yes.
Come on.
You know, and he lost his value
Yes.
as a result.
That's
His
so good.
personal value. He was always valuable in the eyes of God.
Yeah.
But when you say, you know what, I came to a place where I took responsibility, it's on me. Now what you're actually doing is what a lot of guys really don't do. You are self-empowering just by becoming responsible. And now you have this in your marriage as you all grow. Now you have this ability to respond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just based on empowered by taking responsibility. Whereas when some people take responsibility, they feel like, well, you know, I'm uncovered and I'm at fault, not knowing that when they excuse it, they weaken themselves. When they excuse their
Yes.
behavior,
Yes.
and all, they weaken themselves.
Yep.
But when they say, I'm responsible, I'm gonna man up,
Yep.
I'm gonna own up to it,
Yep.
they receive power
Yes.
where they thought
Yeah.
they would be weakened.
Yes.
So good.
That's exactly what happened because I used to make so much excuses. I used to say, well, it's because you were yelling at me. It was because you disrespected me.
Yeah.
You know, it was because, you know, you didn't make me feel this, you know, all that stuff. I did all the excuses, you know, but I did the same to her, but not once did she cheat on me.
Right.
You know? I
Yeah.
did the same thing. I was disrespectful to her. I was mean, rude, but she didn't make the choice to cheat.
Yeah.
And so I stopped making those excuses.
And I see in the marriage how you early on, after the first infidelity, you got in God's word. You was like, okay, who am I? You
Yep.
know, and so you dug into, you know, your identity. You dug into your values.
Yeah.
And that happened in the first part of your marriage.
Yeah.
Now, 10 years later, you're like, you saw it happen in her already. Now you come along. So that growth level
Yeah.
was completely different in a marriage. Like you kind of grew, although you
Yes.
hadn't been to church your whole life.
Yes.
You kind of got the foundation early on in the
Yes.
marriage. And although you had been in church your
Yep.
whole life, that foundation didn't come until 10
Right.
years later.
Absolutely.
Good
That's
point.
you
Excellent
reading
point.
our marriage right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Can you counsel us? Like for real. But
Yeah, that
I'm
was-
serious. That's
yeah.
exactly what happened. I brought it because I answered the call. She came along with me, but then she actually surpassed me.
Right. So
you know,
early
spiritually,
on.
yeah. Yeah.
There was no human person that could heal my soul. There was, you know, I couldn't run to my mom. My mom was on crack cocaine. I had no father to run to. I couldn't run to my husband. There was no human being for me to run to anyway.
What a blessing.
So,
Yeah.
and that's
Yes.
my point. And I'm
Right.
so grateful, you know, that through adversity, I encountered the supernatural power of God.
100%.
Yep.
And that's probably what kept you there as well. There was nowhere to run.
Yeah.
Nowhere.
You know, so you ran to the
Absolutely.
right place, which is the word.
All I had.
Absolutely.
Still all I
Wow.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, what God has certainly done, He has, and I'm looking at so much of your bio. It says your transparent approach has helped thousands of couples and has earned you guys national radio and television appearances. I think that's what we call keeping it real, keeping it 100. You know, it's not that. I think sometimes our hurts can actually help to heal.
Oh, yeah.
You know, other people, and somebody will learn from watching, listening to you guys' story, and they'll have a better relationship because they won't make the same mistakes if they're wise people.
Right. Wow.
That's our prayer.
Yeah, if they're wise people. But apart from that, what do you guys say to folk that say that, well, and we kind of touched on this in a session that we did earlier. What's the value of marriage? What is it that makes you guys want to stay married for real? How is it that valuable to you?
Wow.
Oh, wow. I say it is. You know, one thing that marriage does is so beautiful in itself.
Yeah.
It's a lot to go through when two people are fusing together as one. There's a lot of pain, there's a lot of pressure, a lot of adversity, but we actually become stronger. And unfortunately, too many people bail out before you know they actually be infused because becoming is a process. And it takes years, it takes trials, it takes so many things. And I would have never thought my best friend would have hurt me or betrayed me. But that's the problem in itself. Why not? That's something I had to grow to learn. And going back to trust, I learned early on in Proverbs 3:5 to trust in the Lord with all your heart. You know, and I remember telling him, I said, I'll never trust you 100%. I'll be a whole fool. You know, because we are human beings. And he took no offense to that because I said that's where I was
I didn't
mistaken.
trust myself, really, honestly. That's what made me stronger. I had to stop trusting myself.
I don't trust me, you know. You know, adultery may not be my sin, but we all have a button. It's by the grace of God only that we're cleansed, right? And so I see value in marriage because I believe it makes us more like God. It makes us more unconditional, more gracious, more, you know. The fruit of the Spirit, man.
Talking about fruit testers, right?
Girl.
Oh, my God.
Did y'all have these vows, better or worse, richer, poor, sickness, and in health? Were those your vows? Or did y'all make up your vows?
Can I be 100? I don't remember our initial.
Not the first vows.
When you were 17.
Right. We had a vow renewal and we made our own vows.
Our 20th wedding anniversary, we renewed our vows here in Atlanta, and we wrote our own vows. I remember those. We got books and everything, and we wrote them. So
yeah, but you guys have a value in your vows. That's where your values are actually established. Because, for instance, when we talk about better or worse, that's a heavy. You need fruit, vegetables of the Spirit.
My gosh,
you need everything because the issue is that because marriage is not a created human institution. You must have divine help. If it came from man, man should be able to hold it together, help it. But since it didn't come from man, it was that which came from God.
Such a good point.
There's no way that you can actually succeed in this thing without that spiritual aspect of it.
100%.
Yeah, I have a mentor by the name of Russell Tomlinson. One thing you left, you said something one day, and you said that marriage is a supernatural institute.
Sure did.
And like that is so real. We read the scripture, 1 Corinthians 13, all the time. It talks about love. And I went back to it and everything. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is this. Love is not easily angered. And I'm like, I'm reading it and I'm feeling convicted. And I'm like, there's no way that I can fulfill these things or be this person without this power of God. Because there's things that, honestly, I'm going to do to tick her off and vice versa. And it's easy for us to come out of love. But, because we partner with God, the Holy Spirit, he constantly say, nah, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't, don't withhold your love because you don't feel comfortable in the situation. Unconditional love is loving regardless of whatever externally is happening. You can remain the same, unmovable, and continue in that love.
Yeah.
But that takes supernatural strength.
Most definitely.
Well, and really, when you guys know about the Beatitudes.
Yeah.
Where Jesus is on the mountain speaking to his disciples, and blessed are the pure at heart, for they shall see God. What he is actually doing is placing these virtues out of human reach. Because who was listening to him that was pure at heart? Nobody. So he's giving these people all of these great virtues in order to get them to turn to that which only he can provide by way of giving us the ability to actually carry out. Now, I can say now, being saved, I'm pure at heart. Now, if I keep looking at myself, I'll miss the whole issue of what pureness really is. It's not my pureness.
Yes.
It's his.
Yes.
So when it comes to marriage, what we're doing is actually yielding to his ability, seeing as though he's married to the church.
That part.